Children, our next topic is what are the key features of the Indian Constitution? What are the key features of the Indian Constitution? The key features of Indian Constitution are follows: federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights, and secularism. The key features of Indian Constitution are federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights, and secularism. What do you mean by federalism? Federalism means the existence of two or more levels of government, that is called as federalism. Two or more levels of government existed in India, existed in a country, that is called as federalism. What are the levels of government? The levels of government are central government, state government, and local government. The existence of two or more levels of government, that is called as federalism. So federalism is one of the important feature of the Indian Constitution. Next one is parliamentary form of government. The Indian Constitution guarantees universal adult suffrage. It means that right to vote. The people above 18 years of age, they have right to vote. They can cast their vote. They can elect the representatives to the Lok Sabha election, then state legislative assembly election and local bodies election. Then people of India, they can contest the election. People above 25 years of age, they can contest the election. So parliamentary form of government also one of the important feature of the Indian Constitution. Next one is separation of powers. What do you mean by separation of powers? There are three organs of the government in India. According to the Indian Constitution, there are three organs of the government. The organs of government are legislature, executive, and judiciary. These three organs have different powers. Then each organs can check the work of other. Each organs can check and balance the work of other. Separation of powers means, according to the Indian Constitution, there are three organs of government. Organs of government are legislature, executive, judiciary. Each organ have check and balance the work of other. For example, legislature can check and balance the work of executive. Judiciary have check and balance the work of executive. So, separation of powers also one of the important feature of the Indian Constitution. Next one is fundamental rights. There are six fundamental rights. Six fundamental rights provided by the Indian Constitution. Part 3rd of the Indian Constitution mention about fundamental rights. Part 3rd of the Indian Constitution mention about fundamental rights. There are six fundamental rights. What are the six fundamental rights? The six fundamental rights are right to equality, right to freedom, then right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational right, then right to constitutional remedy. Right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational right, and right to constitutional remedy. What do you mean by right to equality? Right to equality means all people in India are equal before the law. Right to freedom means people of India have right to freedom. Freedom of speech and expression, freedom to reside any part of India, freedom to move any part of India, freedom to choose their occupation, freedom to organize, etc. Then, what do you mean by right against exploitation? Right against exploitation means, according to the Constitution of India prohibited some evils. The evils like trafficking, forced labor, and child labor. So, right against exploitation also one of the important fundamental rights. The next one is right to freedom of religion. What do you mean by right to freedom of religion? The people of India have right to profess, practice, and propagate any religion. Indian people have right to practice, propagate any religion, that is called as right to freedom of religion. Then what do you mean by cultural and educational right? Cultural and educational right means all minorities, religious, linguistic group have right to set up their own educational institution. All minorities, all linguistic or religious group, they have right to set up their own educational institution, that is called as cultural and educational right. The last one is right to constitutional remedy. What do you mean by right to constitutional remedy? Right to constitutional remedy means to move to the court, or the people of India have right to approach the court. If they found their fundamental rights are violated, they thought that their fundamental rights are violated, they can approach the court. So people of India have right to approach the court or move to the court, that is called as right to constitutional remedies. The last feature of Indian constitution is secularism. Secularism is the last feature of Indian constitution. What is secularism? What do you mean by secular state? A secular state is a state in which there is no official religion. A secular state is a state in which there is no official religion. Secularism means it is a system in which all religions are equal. These are the key features of Indian constitution. Key features are federalism, parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, fundamental rights and secularism. Children, the Constitution of India provided 6 fundamental rights to the people of India. Fundamental rights are fundamental to the human beings. Then the Constitution of India mentioned fundamental duties of the people of India. There are 11 fundamental duties to the people. There are 11 fundamental duties. We can discuss or we can study the fundamental duties by the pictures.
First one is respect our national flag and national anthem. Second one, follow ideals of the freedom struggle. Third one, protect sovereignty and integrity of India. Fourth one, defend the country and render nation services. Fifth one, spirit of common brotherhood. Sixth one, preserve composite culture. Seventh one, preserve natural environment. Eighth one, develop scientific temper. Ninth one, safeguard public property. 10th one, strive for excellence. 11th one, duty for all parents or guardians to send their children in the age group of 6 to 14 years to school.
Children, most of the democratic countries in the world drafted their constitution. For example, India. Then some countries drafted their constitution by the struggles and movements. For example, Nepal. Nepal is our neighboring country. It shares its borders with India. It is located in the northern part of India. In 1990s, monarchy was in Nepal. The political system of Nepal was monarchy. The final authority or the final powers of Nepal vested in the hands of king. In 1990s, the final powers are vested in the hands of king. The executive powers are vested in the hands of king and council of ministers. Then different sections of the people of Nepal, they started struggles and movements to oppose monarchy. At last in 2006, Nepal will become a democratic country. Then they drafted their constitution. As per the new constitution, the final authority is the people. People are the final authority. The executive powers are vested in the hands of Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers are the representatives of the people. If we compare the constitution of Nepal in 1990s constitution and 2006, in 1990s final authority was king. In 2006 final authority is the people. Then in 1990s executive powers are vested in the hands of king and council of ministers. In 2006 executive powers are vested in the hands of council of ministers. Children, let us conclude our chapter, the Indian Constitution. What we studied by the chapter, we studied what is constitution, why do we need constitution, how was Constitution of India framed, what is preamble, then what are the key features of Indian Constitution, then fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and simply we discuss about Nepal. Then children, all of you understand that Indian Constitution is the longest constitution in the world. Part 3rd of the Indian Constitution is mentioned about fundamental rights. Part 4th of the Indian Constitution is mentioned about fundamental duties. Our Constitution protect the justice, liberty and equality of the Indian citizens. Thank you.